Greetings to all and sundry, Chancellor North Wales here. Time for another Chancellor's View. So quite a few things to cover today. It's going to be thank yous, mentions, shout outs, group builds, current progress. So what have we got? Well, firstly guys, a massive thank you. This week I went past 1,000 subscribers. Oh, well, after all these years, people actually watching these things. But anyway, so to all you guys out there who have subscribed, liked, supported this channel, big thank you guys. Hugely appreciated as always. I love your comments, I love your feedback, and I just hope my videos bring something to your enjoyment of your hobbies as well. So big thank you there guys. Progress on a current project. I'm working on the Zvezda Yak130. Here we go. I must admit, I am thoroughly enjoying this little aircraft. It's not without its flaws, but I'm fairly convinced some of the filling is down more to me being a little bit cack-handed in places. Nonetheless, I think this kit goes together in an interesting way. I think it's very nicely engineered as a model, and I have to be honest with you, I'm thoroughly enjoying building it. So this is the Zvezda Yak130, making good steady progress on it, and I think it's a lovely kit, no two ways around it. So hopefully this weekend we'll be getting into the painting phase as well, and we'll have her ready and done soon. I'm doing this as a buddy build with Killbox Scale modelling, a gentleman from Sweden. So he's building this kit at the same time. He's added in some photo etch extras. So you'll see there's two approaches to the same aircraft. As always, when I mention anyone else, I will put the names down. That's area below. Look down there, you will find links to any channels that I mention. So what else is coming up? Well, when this is done, a young gentleman by the name of IS2, a lad from Serbia, asked me to take part in a Yugoslav group build. That is any aircraft or armour that saw service in Yugoslav or successor nation colours at any times. Basically, you're looking at Yugoslavia from the formation of the nations to the present day, with the former Yugoslav states Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, Macedonia, Montenegro, Bosnia-Herzegovina. All of those are independent nations now with their own markings, their own air forces, their own units, and you're all you can do markings of the aircraft in the markings or armour of the original Yugoslavia state. Now for this, it's very seldom that I go out and buy kits specifically for group build. I normally only do stuff that I've have in my stash, but I went ahead and ordered through Hannons the Revell MiG-21 fish bed F-13, so the early one, and I also ordered a set of Begmot decals, again from Hannons. Which give you some nice decal sets, and will also give me a nice surplus of decals for Russia, Czechoslovakia, and there's Serbia, Croatia, Hungary, and the former Yugoslavia here as well. So I will be doing this aircraft in the markings of the former Yugoslavia, and from my stash I have this MiG-31. Now I'm in slightly two minds here. I would like, sorry, MiG-21, I would like a MiG-21 in Russian markings in the collection. I currently have one in Israeli markings and one in Slovakian Air Force markings. The decals come here contained there also for particular MiG-21 UTI that's all sea service with Croatia with a checkerboard pattern. Unfortunately, I don't have a UTI. I've been looking for one online, or MiG-21 for the two-seater version. But we will see. I could build that other one in the markings of a Croatian Air Force, one from soon after the dissolution of the country. But in two minds there. Certainly the MiG-21 F-13 will be built in Yugoslav markings for that particular group build, and I will still keep my eyes peeled. Now the group build begins in February and I think runs through to the end of March, something like that, 2 or 3 months. Details on the lad's YouTube page will be below. So his name is IS2. I think he's comes across as a really nice young chap and a keen modeler as well. And like any of the younger chaps out here in YouTube land, subscribe to him and support him. So now, a series of shout outs. I think it's going to be very much a a shout outy video. So firstly, and one I think that is long overdue, is a gentleman by the name of Modeler Mentor. And this is a gentleman, I believe, from the States who has plunged into the YouTube modeling side quite seriously. He does very well produced videos. He's an excellent experienced modeler. He does the evening webcast or shows going through a build. He's done a series of that for a Sherman build. He did a very nice series of videos for the Star Wars Slave 1 build as well, and other work. So he's starting up, but he puts real production value into his videos. He's called Modeler Mentor. He's taking the channel side quite seriously, and I think he's an excellent modeler. I think the quality of his videos stands out as well. So check him out. Again, there will be a link below, and subscribe to this gentleman. Well worth looking at and well worth growing his bed of support. Next chap I would say is a British gentleman by the name of Model Meltdown. Again, there'll be details down below. I just like his affable manner when discussing his builds. I've watched a series of biplane builds. He did the Matchbox Siskin, Matchbox Seafox, and Airfix Heinschel. Oh, crikey. 117, something like that. The little ground attack aircraft. He has a very... Oh, and he did the Airfix Gloucester Gladiator. I think he has a particularly pleasant presentation manner, and he discusses the builds in a most engaging way. So look him up, Model Meltdown, a nice British chap. Now for another gentleman called Simon Webb. And what's nice about his channel is it covers a broad scope of modelling. He does his plastic kits, he does his radio control cars, his radio control aircraft, and I think I spotted an unboxing of a free flight aircraft. Let it go. See where it goes. So it's nice that you see a channel that covers a broader spectrum of the modelling world. And I think, again, he's got a good presentation style, a good manner. And for those of you who have broader tastes in terms of your hobby, I think he's certainly worth checking out. The final one I'm going to mention is a young lad from the Slovak Republic, Kristian Brachnak. I hope I've pronounced that correctly or not absolutely mutilated. Again, details down below, down there, the writing bit. Anyway, good modeler, hand-painted work. I like the subject matter. It's in European, and another lad starting out with his channel has quite a few videos up, and I certainly think is worth subscribing to, encouraging and drawing into this great community. And in terms of the community, there have been, as we all know, there are ups and downs, schisms and rising stars and falling graces and all the rest of it that happens in any kind of community, club, group, society, or whatever other way we have of existing as a gathering. But right now, guys, I'm getting pretty good vibes. I'm seeing a lot of the younger modelers channels coming up. I'm seeing people being supported and encouraged. So I think after, as always, the cycle of ups and downs, and we wait to see when there's going to be the next schisms and all the rest of it. But I think we're in a good place right now on YouTube and the modelers community. I know YouTube have done this thing about changing the rules for monetization, and it is and I can understand that it's rough for people who are depending upon that. Personally, and this is strictly my own perspective on this, I YouTube because it's a link to the hobby. My hobby isn't YouTubing. I'm a modeler who likes to share his hobby through YouTube. I personally won't monetize because, to me, only for myself, it would dilute some of my intention about why I'm doing it, and I want my motivation to remain about sharing my enjoyment of building models and the occasional bit of wargaming. On the wargaming side, D-Side Defenders Wargames Club that I have run for years is growing very nicely. We have a good regular turnout. Unfortunately for that means I tend to focus on the adminning and I don't do much gaming. Also, it's a Thursday evening, and quite simply, by the time I get to 6:15, I'm a bit blooming knackered. I'm work fairly heavy hours. Basically because I'm a workaholic, not because I'm particularly asked to or required to or pressurized to. I just do. That's it. I enjoy my work. I enjoy being a metrologist, and I find it motivates me a great deal, and I find the whole area of the science of measurement deeply interesting, and I think I've been blessed in life to be able to work in a field that I can enjoy so much and have so much professional freedom to delve into, explore and develop on. What that does mean is I don't wargame much. Nowhere near as much as I used to, or as much as I feel as I should. I focus on club admin, keeping the club ticking over, and as I say to people on the wargaming side, I grease the axles of the chariots of war. I focus on the club being an effective space for people to meet up and play whatever they like. So that's why, if my channel does say modelling and wargaming, why you haven't seen much wargaming on it. Lately, also, the game I have been playing is X-Wing. So I've not been painting anything new. Will there be stuff coming up? Not really on X-Wing, because I only really do videos about stuff that you make, that kind of thing. And there is so much out there in YouTube land about people unboxing the X-Wing ships and discussing the game. You don't need another one on it. So I will stick with this channel with stuff that I paint, make, that needs some kind of creative input. I'm not saying there's not going to be any more Wargames miniatures. There probably will be. I just right now don't have the faintest idea when. So it will continue to be about knocking out models of aircraft from Eastern Europe, Russia and all the rest of it, with the intention of being a hobby sharing channel. I think if we keep that in mind, hopefully this community will carry on chugging away on the YouTube channel, which I do particularly enjoy. So that was a bit of a warble around that, and really my driving factors and all the rest of it. I have seen a lot of absolutely great, lovely work from many directions. Some lovely builds of flankers. That seems to be an incredibly popular aircraft at present. Guys knocking them out in 1/72 and in 1/48 scale. Oh, one other group build. I'm kicking myself that I didn't mention this. I will also be doing, many of you know Ian, he's one of the stalwarts of this community. UK Scale Modeler is doing an in foreign colours group build that the MiG-21 group build will also go into as well. So they're running at the same period. So I will be building that not just for the Yugoslav group build, but for also the in foreign markings group build. I was a bit miffed. I had a rummage. I could have sworn I had a 262 somewhere in the stash, but it might have been a kit that I've given to someone else. I wanted to do that. I know the Russians got hold of some 262s at the end of the war, put red stars on them, and probably had a thoroughly enjoyable time testing them. But That was one I would have liked to have done, but I'm not too worried about that. The main thing is for those two group builds, Yugoslav and in foreign colours, I'll be doing a MiG-21 F-13 in Yugoslav Air Force markings. So, really covered the ground. Check out the channels of the peoples I have mentioned. Subscribe to them, support them, and keep this community growing. So until the next time, guys, take care, God bless, and happy modelling.